Who could this dashing tripod serval be? I wonder who. Well, of course, it's the one and only serval Bruno. Hello, everyone. He says, let me clean this paw here for a moment. Good morning and happy Tuesday. Ellen Simmons saying good morning all. That is right, Ellen. It is a very good morning. I'm sure by now you guys have cruised by our Facebook page and seen the formal announcement that Bruno the serval, along with his companion Fiona the serval, have embarked on a new kind of chapter on their wild heart journey. They have now moved into a free-roaming habitat. They're over here in Wildcat Pines. We'll talk a little bit more about these two lovely rescues here in a moment. Torben with the 50 stars. Thank you, Torben. And right above that, Pandora with 200 stars. Thank you, Pandora, so much. Always so generous with the stars. Hey, Sue Button from the UK. Robin Lyons is here. Hey, Shauna Haji. See, Hinyata is here. Back at the lives, you say. Hey, Sharon B. Lori Heath. And I got to catch Miss Fiona right at the beginning of the post. I'm hoping maybe she'll circle back around at some point on the live. But you guys know Fiona, and we'll talk a little bit about this move and how we're excited for her to come even more out of her shell. She's already come so far and has made a lot of strides in her wild at heart life, and we're excited for not only the new partnership, but also how you guys know our habitats are designed to really kind of cater to a cat like Fiona, giving her lots of places to hide, lots of places to observe from afar while feeling safe and secure. So I'm very excited for Fiona. This move just happened last week. So, hey, that's understandable. I'd caught her right at the beginning of the post. She was kind of plucking away in the grass, chasing grasshoppers around. But she kind of heard the paparazzi started talking, and she wandered back into her bedroom and shift. But it's cool. We're kind of going to be able to see the evolution of how Fiona's acclimating to this habitat, and I think it's going to be a pretty drastic evolution. I'm very excited for it. So as Mr. Bruno, is going to kind of groom away here, I'm going to jump back into the comments, say hi to the folks. Hey, Foyth Warner. Glad to be back. I had a nice little Monday off yesterday. That is right. Good morning, Alyssa Windsor. You're amazing kitties. Have an awesome day. Relax and enjoy. Well, we certainly will, Alyssa. Oh, I like this name. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Liesla, good morning to you. Laura Chivone is here. Hey, Sheila Corwin-Smith. Tara Cummings. Bruno and Fiona. That is right. Hey, Susan Mensa. Kathy Ryan is here. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Kendra Ditto. Saying my sponsor, kitty, Pandora. And would that be Bruno or Fiona? That's so wonderful that you've taken one of these precious servals under your wing. And Bruno and Fiona, though they were rescued at different times, these two actually share a pretty similar story with one another. And that Bruno was found wandering, lost, abandoned. We don't know what circumstances led to him being wandering a suburban area outside of Boston. As with Fiona, she was found in Arizona. She was in a desert-like area. She was severely dehydrated and actually had some cactus spurs stuck in her. And we don't know what events transpired leading up to her abandonment or her getting lost or escaped. And so Bruno and Fiona, both kind of wandering or lost servals that were found, very symptomatic of what we talk about a lot here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, which is the captive wildlife crisis and how these animals are getting caught up in the private pet trade and most oftentimes ending up in situations like these two. I can think of serval Sebastian, who's been in that scenario as well. He was found wandering a suburban area outside of Detroit. And happy that these two have made it to the Wildcat Sanctuary, but you can only imagine the fear and uncertainty those wildcats are experiencing during those moments. And unfortunately for Bruno, he was injured. We don't know exactly what happened, perhaps maybe struck by a vehicle, but Bruno was injured. And when he was picked up and taken in by the MSCPA, Bruno, he had his right rear leg amputated. And Mr. Bruno is no worse for the wear. He's one of our tripod residents, as we've so endearingly nicknamed them. But Mr. Bruno had to make a few adjustments for this little guy, not so much for Fiona. She is a 4-pod serval. But you can see a little bit different of a look than this habitat normally has. We like to have the skywalks up. Well, we don't want Bruno to be doing too much kind of jumping off of things. He's certainly encouraged to jump on things and exercise those muscles, but we don't want to make him, have him leaping off of things from too high of distances. And so a couple modifications to the habitat, but overall, it's really still kind of an adjustment period for Bruno and Fiona. Like I mentioned, this move just happened last Friday. I was kind of alluding during the Ava and the Peppers spay that there's some transition happening out there, and or not their spay, excuse me, their exam. That would have been Hal, Belle, and Ava. They all had wellness exams last week. We took that time to move them over to Small Cat Track. They're right next to Scarlet Little Diva, and of course Mr. Zambuca, with that would be who on the other side? Rio and Nico. So I've been doing a lot of chatting. It might behoove me to move a little farther away from the shift. It's cool. I see Mr. Claude the bobcat making his way across his habitat. Speaking of tripod residents, Claude is a 3-legged bobcat. And right in the nick of time, Kathy Ryan, there's a soft spot in my heart for the tripod cats. And there goes Bobcat Claude disappearing into the foliage of his habitat. Let me catch up on some comments here. I was doing a lot of chatting. Chizzy Lovell's watching. Hey, Chizzy. They're close to Nunedin, says Hinata, talking about the move that Ava and Belle and Jalapeno did. That's correct, over in Small Cat Track. So now they get to be hissy with the rest of the hissy servals. And we say that endearingly because you guys know servals, and hissing is just a way that those cats communicate. They can use it to communicate when they're upset. They can use it to communicate when they're excited. Hiss, hiss, hiss with those servals. Lisa Hansen saying, so thankful that Fiona and Bruno found their way to TWS, and as are we. Those are moments where, kind of like I said, if you can just only imagine how petrified that animal must feel for it to be lost and abandoned in a suburban area. Bruno in the middle of winter in Boston, snow on the ground, freezing temperatures. Fiona in the deserts of Arizona. Yowzer. And I'm going to do ourselves a favor. I'm going to just move a little farther away, and maybe hoping that we can give Fiona a little bit more space to maybe venture out of her shift and come join us in the main habitat. You'll be able to zoom in on Mr. Bruno here. And if not, like I said, this move just happened, and I was out of the office on Monday and haven't been able to get a schedule on my live post yet. So I'm sure we'll have another live post with these two, and we can set out some enrichment, and perhaps Fiona would be a little more encouraged to come out and enjoy some enrichment if she didn't just have the big bad paparazzi looming over her like I am today. Hey, Dana Taylor checking in from Tacoma, Washington. And you're exactly right about that, Ellen Simmons. Lizzie the serval was found hiding in someone's garage. We've been kind of talking about the unfortunate theme of lost or abandoned servals, and how we here at the Wildcat Sanctuary are home to a handful of them. Alan Simmons mentioning Lizzie the serval. That was here in Minnesota, as a matter of fact, where servals are illegal to own. A person who didn't own this serval was just going out to their garage to start their car on a cold morning. Went into their garage and heard some hissing from the rafters. Looked up, and there was an African serval suspended up in the rafters of their garage, having escaped from somewhere. And we have kind of Lizzie's full story on our website, including a video, and it's a rather hard video to watch, but I think it really kind of just adds another layer into what I was talking about and what these animals experience when they do find themselves into those situations. Lizzie was kind of netted from the top of this garage, and that can be a traumatic experience for these cats. You can only imagine. I'm going to see if I can sneak over here and maybe catch a glimpse of Bobcat Claude hanging out in one of his morning haunts. Hope everybody's doing well today. Happy Tuesday. You're tuned into the Wildcat Sanctuary. We announced a cat move that happened recently here at the Wildcat Sanctuary between serval Fiona and serval Bruno. Kind of keeping my eyes peeled for Claude right now. Hey, Mr. Benson. I'll tell you who I don't need to keep my eyes peeled for is Athena, who's in the middle of her own personal cuddle puddle with the sun here. Oh, brother. Oh, Linda, I agree with that. Saying I really like the fake eyes they have on the back of their ears, pointing to the flashes, and you can even see Athena has some of those flashes or dots on the back of those ears. She says, yeah, that's going to prevent me from getting snuck up on by other predators, which typically is other bobcats, other tigers, other servals. Scrolling through a few more comments. Hey, Brenda from Oklahoma. Love you all that you do for the cats. Well, Brenda, thank you for that. And we're just so fortunate that we have the amazing supporters that we do who understand that we're here for the cats and we want the best for these animals with the situations that unfortunately they've been dealt with. Talking about Bruno and Fiona being lost or abandoned. Miss Athena, who we have here, behind us, coming to us from private ownership, and it really runs the gambit, and the through line is the captive wildlife crisis, and you guys wanting the best for the animals caught up in this captive wildlife crisis, and we're so fortunate for it, Mr. Benson, and we're here for you, pretty boy. Is it just the best morning for a bobcat to soak in the sun? He says, you're darn tootin' it is. You're darn tootin'. Just going to take this opportunity to look across to see if I see Fiona at all. Still see Bruno crashing in the sun there. Oh my gosh. It's not Halloween quite yet, Athena. You look like a scary monster right there. She says, well, I gotta get this belly some sun too. Oh my word, that was pretty darn cute, if I may say so myself, but I know Athena's a bobcat, and never would I ever reach out and try to touch that fluffy belly. But that was pretty cute, as they say, Miss Athena. And bobcat Enzo, Athena's companion, kind of sneaking up out of the brush from his habitat, also giving another reminder and reinforcement as to why we treat our rescues for exactly what they are, wild animals and not as pets. Because I hardly even knew Mr. Enzo was there. Certainly I'm aware there's 2 cats in that habitat, but I'm just looking in here if I can see Claude at all. Like I said, Claude has a couple of hangout spots, and Claude's one of our tripod residents, is formerly a wild-born bobcat, but having been injured. He had to have one of his legs amputated, which means he wouldn't be a successful candidate to live in the wild. And man alive, does that mean he's good at hiding? And hey, Claude, you get to do exactly that. He says, I'll tell you when I don't hide, it was around food time. No hiding around food time. I show my pretty little face. Keep on looking for a good place to get Bruno here, and unfortunately I keep on walking into foliage, and also I don't want to get too close to the shift. But we'll maybe hang out with Bruno for a little bit longer and maybe make a circle around Wildcat Pines here and maybe dip into the main part of the sanctuary as well. Alrighty. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I had a great weekend, hoping everybody did the same. I know it's Tuesday, I had the day off yesterday, so maybe I shouldn't be talking about weekends. Should be looking forward to the next weekend. Catch up on some comments here while Mr. Bruno is relaxing. And then we'll keep on trucking around. Hey, Susan Casano, thank you for the 50 stars. Someone asking, where's Mr. Chili currently? Chili's in our quarantine area. And we would have featured Chili on a live post back in September. And all is well with Mr. Chili. You know that he is also one of our tripod residents. And Chili is he's in our quarantine area for a specific reason. We're able to modify those yards, and obviously it's a little bit more compact for Chili, who has some mobility issues, but most importantly, we're modifying those yards so we can continue physical therapy with Chili. And we have an awesome set of little moguls set up. We have a bridge set up for Chili, as well as a few other stations that caretakers have crafted that are ensuring that he's still kind of developing muscle and maintaining muscle in his rear leg that is not amputated. I think Bruno, yours is your right, and is Chili also his right? I need to get my ducks in a row on that one. But all is well with Mr. Chili, and understandably so. You guys know that we have the witness protection program here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, so at times it's not easy to go wherever we'd like to, just due to certain cats being in certain areas and what we're able to film and not film here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. All right, Mr. Bruno. Glad to see you're doing just fine, mister. He says, I get to watch the UTVs go by. I get to see all the people go by. Life is good. And I can't wait for Fiona to think the exact same thing. She says, sometimes it takes a little time to warm up to places, and that's totally understandable, Mr. Bruno. Because you guys just had your move last week. You see if Sky and Celine are out. I tell you what, certain cats we have here at the Wildcat Sanctuary we need to document via trail cam, and with my keen little eye, I see one bobcat. I think she just ran under her tree there. I'm going to have to go around this way. Sky and Celine, they catnap during the day. It's so hard. And I just have a sneaking suspicion that these two rescued bobcat sisters are having an absolute heyday after dark. So that's going to have to be a little trail cam project for me. And I hear a little power washing happening over in the pole shed, so Can't blame the cats if they're not too keen on that noise, so I'm gonna just keep on cruising all the way around Wildcat Pines here. Alrighty. Although Morgan Bobcat says power washer, smower washer. You feel how warm this sun is today? Holy bright, there we go. That's Bobcat Morgan soaking in the sun. And she says, yeah, you know what? I can handle a little noise from the power washer. That's nothing a bobcat like me minds. Let's see, maybe I can catch up on some comments while I'm walking around. I know that maybe it'd be fun to go over and see Sebastian and Luna, especially if the sun is like this. Those two are very keen on cuddling up when the time is right, and particularly now when the sun has been like it's been. I just need to lower my voice as I kind of cruise over there. I see Sebastian. Oh, and I see Luna hopping up to one of her favorite lookout spots, her perch and platform. That's right, pretty much built into a tree, where she loves going up into the tree, hanging out on the perch and first, yeah. And we'll get some patented hisses from Sebastian, I can only imagine. Thank you for those hisses, mister. He says, oh, the sun feels so nice today. Oh, Patricia. Ooh. Yowzer. I think I tried to fly too close to the sun on that one. That's my mistake, everyone. I apologize. Kind of on the fringes of our Wi-Fi connection at that part of the sanctuary. Belvedere Francis, Autumn, and it says Belvedere Francis and Autumn. I don't know why I said a fourth. Hopefully it's not frozen any longer for anyone. I'm back. Linda says video back. Keeps freezing, says Sandy. Sorry about that, Sandy. Kelly Anderson pointing out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are supposed to be nice days up here in northern Minnesota. ... Then some rain. I'm glad it's not ... then some snow. Have been pretty impressed the past couple of days. We're getting into the 70s again, and it's October 4th here in Sandstone, Minnesota. I'm back, everyone. Sorry, lost you for just a moment. I mentioned I think I was flying a little too close to the sun, as they say, and we're on the fringes of the Wi-Fi connection and visiting Sebastian and Luna, and we had to split. But we are back here. I see Belvedere, I see Francis, that's Autumn on the far side here, getting every last morsel off of those paws as they continue to sun on top of probably their favorite strip of skywalk in their free roaming habitat. I'll zoom all the way out here. Oh, look at you, Mr. Autumn. I was just zooming out, but now we gotta zoom in. A big stretch from Autumn. Everybody take a mental picture of Autumn along with his surrogate brothers, Belvedere and Francis, because, man alive, autumn is going to turn into a floofball. We know that our lynx and our bobcats really put on, oh no, Mr. Francis, really put on those winter coats. So you can only imagine, even Belvedere, even Autumn was looking a little kind of wiry, like he still has his summer coat on. You can imagine. He's going to be putting on the real stuff here pretty soon. Kelly Anderson telling me not to mention the S word quite yet. I certainly won't. Even though these cats love the S word, and they're kind of keeping their paws, all toes on their paws crossed and waiting for it to happen. Tracy F. asking, has Ramsey floofed out yet? Well, I've been trying to catch Ramsey on a live, and I saw him as I was coming over here to Wildcat Pines, so let's go see for ourselves. But truthfully, many of the cats haven't really kind of put on some of their winter fur yet. We've had a handful of, kind of cool, wintry feeling nights, but in the end, cats still have plenty of time to do that, and what I'm hoping are kind of plenty of more mild days as well left in the fall season. Alrighty. I see a sleepy cheetah. But you guys have seen that sun is just hitting right today, apparently. Hey there, pretty boy Lavani. We're looking for a pretty boy Ramsey. I saw him cruising around, huffing and a puffing. Let's see, pretty boy, are you under your platform? And I can't see you. Ramalam. Oh, mister. We keep on trying. Mister. It looks like they're feeding over cleaning in woodland, so a lot of those cats would be shifted inside. So let's keep on cruising this way. See if we can end things on a nice note here. We kind of had a big drop back there in Wildcat Pines, which is no fun for anyone, myself included. You can see we had an awesome crew day that was happening last Friday. We had some skirting that needed to be replaced on Beauty's Habitat skirting. This just looks like fencing, or what we call our habitat walls. It just kind of looks like traditional fencing where it comes down to the ground and ends. Well, not here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Our fencing is actually built into the ground. So this whole area was dug up so they can lay that fencing into the ground. They actually lay it flat this way. They lay it flat that way. And then it comes up, they've buried it, and so now if any cat were to dig down, they would hit fence. If they were to dig under that and try to dig up, they would hit fence as well. And so always kind of something to point out, and there's always something where something's kind of meeting more than meets the eye, I think is what my word soup is trying to spell in my brain. And always keeping safety at top of mind with our rescues as well. Their safety and our safety. I see Mr. Bobcat Baby Jenga cruising around his habitat on a lovely Tuesday. Baby! Do I sound like Tammy enough? Baby! He says, maybe you don't sound like Tammy. But I'm always down to turn around and give you a nod, at least, Mr. Paparazzi, and I appreciate that, Mr. Baby. And off Baby goes to enjoy maybe a shade spot, maybe a sun spot. The temp is still pretty mild, but man, that sun's direct. I have a stocking cap on and probably should have left it inside. I'm going to take it off. Well, I'm going to peer and maybe see if I can catch some cougars. And if I can't catch any cougars, I'll turn around. Maybe we can see Shadow or Tao or Buddy the bobcat. And I think we'll kind of wrap it up for the day, everyone. But good to be back. It is Tuesday. You can see the fall foliage as well is coming in beautifully here in Sandstone. And it's certainly been a wonderful commute coming into work and leaving work the past week, and will be about for the next month. A lot of the trees have just started transitioning, and so some haven't even started transitioning yet. It's just going to be a beautiful fall, I can already tell. And if any of you are leaf peepers out there, as they say here in this part of Minnesota at least, if you like driving around and looking at those leaves, I was just looking at maybe doing something fun this weekend and realized it was leaf peeping season and was going to look at an Airbnb, and everything was booked, Shadow, those leaf peepers. Oh, a big yawn. Yeah, that's what I think too. Karen Dodgery saying, always love to see Shadow. Well, speak of the angel. Kathy Ryan pointing out that I don't have any Supreme with me. I'll never have baby's affection like Tammy does, obviously for many reasons, but one of those being how she's always equipped with her Supreme, and baby loves lapping up that spoon. I agree with that. Ramsey has been playing hard to get with the paparazzi, and I was out of the office yesterday and kind of jumped into things today head first, but I'm going to carve out a schedule, live post schedule, for us for the rest of the week, and we'll see if they're doing some cleaning in Cougar Cove, and we'll drop in perhaps some of Ramsey's favorite enrichment, some box enrichment, and have him make a firm debut. And I'm glad that people found kind of the skirting interesting as well, talking about the layers of security that we have here. Miss Shadow, she says, big stretch and a big scratch. There's no such thing as redundancies and safety when it comes to working with these types of wildcats. My word. Simon, he's also getting cozy here. A similar position to what we caught Bobcat Athena in at the beginning of the post. But man, Shadow, now that I think about it, we kind of have painted the sanctuary red a bit. We got to see Bruno, a glimpse of Fiona right at the beginning of the post, but as I said, their move just took place last week, and I have the highest of hopes and great expectations for Miss Fiona in that habitat, and how it's going to help her tremendously and help her come out of her shell even more than she already has. So as always, and just as you guys know, we're going to be patient with Miss Fiona and let her get comfortable on her own time and own terms. But we did catch a glimpse of her. Who else did we see? We saw Bobcat Athena, Simon. We got to see Bobcat Benson. Caught a glimpse of Mr. Sebastian Serval. Unfortunately, service got a little funky over there. Belvedere Francis and Autumn cuddling on their perch. And, hey, I think it was a pretty fun day, everyone. I'm happy everyone got to join us and visit with some of our rescued residents, celebrate a new chapter in Bruno and Fiona's Wild at Heart life, and as well as admire our rescues like Mr. Simon here for all of their beauty. Are you cozy, mister? My word. My word, Mr. Simon. Leg in the air is right, Sandy G. Well, what a good way to end the live post with a big old smile. What in the world? Are you rolling? Are you staying? Are you coming? Are you going? I don't know, mister. Oh, Simon. How are we supposed to end the live with this? Oh, man. Maybe some rolling in the grass there. Oofta, if we needed any other indication that life is sweet for the rescues of TWS, Mr. Simon, letting it all hang out, and yeah, there we go. Well, everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Tuesday. I love seeing the excitement and everyone having a blast on today's live post. That makes me so happy. From us here at TWS, thank you for making it another day of living wild at heart for the rescues here. We will see you back here on a live post tomorrow. Bye, everyone.